Significant changes, lots happening in the Indian automobile industry, especially with regards to the future of the industry. In many ways, the future is now, and that's the message we're getting from several manufacturers. Audi is the one leading that charge, and I've used lots of cliches here because and puns, because of course I'm talking about electric vehicles. And in that space, there is a lot that's been buzzing globally. Finally, we're getting to see a lot of that now, really, really picking up speed here in India. Let's talk about what's happening specifically with Audi because, of course, it's an important day. The e-tron, huge global brand for Audi AG, making its entry here into the Indian market today. And joining me to talk more about that, I have Balbir Dhillon, who, of course, needs no introduction. We've had him on the show before so many times and represents Audi's interests here in India. Great to see you, Balbir.
Thank you very much, Siddharth, and thanks for having me on your show. And good wishes to you as well as all the viewers that they remain safe and sound.
Yeah, likewise, can't echo that more. The thing I said at the top about how significant this day is. I don't need to tell you that because I'm sure it's led up to this with a whole lot of work that's gone into the back end, both in terms of the product itself, but also just the plan around it. So let's dive into that. First things first. Why was it important to do this for Audi India?
Extremely important because we see the future to be electric in one sentence, and everything led to this. So we got an e-tron into India in 2019. Of course, a little bit of delay because of pandemic as well, but we have been doing our groundwork for almost 2 years now. We have showcased this car to journalists, we have showcased this car to existing customers and also prospective buyers. And we wanted to come strong with a full commitment for long term. So we have done our homework before we launch these three cars today. Now, and as you already have mentioned, e-tron is not just a car or cars for us; it's a brand in itself. So we will have many cars coming in the future as well for within e-tron. So what we have done in last 2.5 years is to study, and study. And finally, we are in with the car, and we are very confident that we will be extremely successful going forward. And that's why we start with three cars in one go to start with, and followed by more cars.
I have to say that when you first announced the intent of doing the e-tron, the e-tron Sport Pack, and two variants of the e-tron, it did take everybody by surprise because the approach so far, especially from the premium brigade, has been to sort of tick the box, bring in sort of a flagship, which is a great display of technology, what's happening globally in the portfolio, what's important to the brand, but maybe to some extent keeping it as a flagship on a pedestal. Your approach is different, isn't it?
Absolutely. As I said, we have taken our time, and we have taken our time to study. And now, since we've decided to come, we will come with a bang. And it is very important. You've already seen the way global movement is happening on electric mobility, and also the focus from Government of India also on the same topic. So we want to also participate in this. And you also know that Audi globally has decided that eventually we will become an electric car company in 2023, 2033 onwards. So we are also aligning our strategy with our headquarters. And that's the part of this strategy that we bring in these cars. And we are very confident that this will be success, but it will not be an overnight success. We have to work hard. We have to be resilient. We have to be consistent with our approach, and we have to take care of our customers, and we have to take care of their anxieties today. So what you see today, what we're going to talk about is not just car. We will talk much beyond car. And in fact, we will talk more beyond car today so that all the anxieties of customers are addressed, and we are able to give a holistic solution to mobility via an electric car.
When it comes to that anxiety, I think very often, and especially for us in the media, the conversation gets very quickly eclipsed by all the talk around infrastructure or the lack thereof, and the anxiety around, therefore, charging. But as you mentioned, there are many other areas that people worry about in terms of just the whole ownership experience, just to make that leap from ICE to EV. Those areas I know you have also spent a lot of time on. So I'll not even start by talking about charging because that's almost like a given. Talk to me about all the other initiatives that you're doing on the other side.
So it will take now a little longer time for me to explain. What we have done is we divided the whole of our strategy into four pillars. The very first pillar is the product itself. So our confidence about electric mobility is that we are bringing three products. So I will not talk beyond this. So this is given that we are confident and we will bring more products. And for our long-term perspective is by 2025, we want to achieve 15% of our sales from electric vehicles. So you can imagine within this year itself, we will bring even more electric cars. You will see this in the coming months. And from now till 2025, we'll have even more cars in electric mobility. So 15% by 2025, that is our strategy. So this is on the product side. The second most important topic is the fear of unknown. That is what we wanted to address. Now, this fear of unknown is primarily for the ownership of the car. What if I buy the car? What happens to my battery? What is the cost of ownership? What happens if I get stuck somewhere? So all these things. So what we've done is we have 5 years of roadside assistance standard on all the cars. We have up to 5 years of service packages. We have up to 5 years of extended warranty. We have comprehensive package for 5 years. We have best in class resale value that we are offering to our customers, that if you want to sell after 1 year, 60% you get back. If you give it back after 2 years, 55%. After 3 years, 50%. So best in class, we want to offer there as well. So all these anxieties are taken care of. So this was the second topic, which was primarily ownership. And last but not the least in this is the warranty on the battery. 8 years or 1,60,000 kilometers. So that is the warranty on the high voltage battery. The third topic which we have focused is basically now coming back to charging, not just charging, but charging and plus, plus, plus. I'll give you examples. We want to offer our customer, or we will offer our customer two chargers, 11 kilowatt chargers. One, we call it stationary charger that they can install at their office or their home. The second remains with the car, where wherever the customers go, they could charge their cars on their way or wherever. So even the variable or the flexible charger will have two outlets. One you could use with public chargers, the 5-pin, and you also have a normal 3-pin charger, which you can put anywhere, like at our home 3-plug. Of course, it takes time, but at least there is an option available. So we are taking care from that point of view. What we are also doing, we have decided that we will install by ourselves about 100 plus chargers at 75 locations. We've already installed 30, but mostly at our dealerships. But we will continue to improvise this in the coming months. We will also put DC chargers, 50 kilowatt DC chargers at some of our dealerships, which can charge up to 80% less than 2 hours. So this is also what we are doing. But beyond this, I'm also happy to share that we are not restricting all these chargers only for e-tron customers. We want anybody to come and use these chargers. So we want to be, part of improving the acceptability of electric cars. So this is on the charging side. The fourth important pillar is digitalization. So digitalization, of course, during the purchase, pre-purchase, post-purchase, all that is sorted. We've already done this AR, VR activities. So I'm not even talking of that. What I'm going to talk about is what we are doing in e-tron as far as digitalization goes. So multiple things. Savings calculator. When you're driving an EV as compared to an ICE engine, what are you saving? Not just in terms of money, but carbon footprint. Range calculator. If you want to drive long distance, you want to understand this much is the range and where all you have charging points in between so that you can plan your tour. Roadside assistance, which I already spoke about some time back, but how it is digitally also helping is that you just need to go into My Audi app, you press a button, your car is already, we know where you are. We will find you geographically, wherever you're stationed. We will send somebody there. There'll be 24/7 exclusive line that we are creating for e-tron customers. They can get in touch with that. We are also developing a support program where if, let's say, you get stuck somewhere, and 6 cities this we are planning, there'll be a vehicle that will come to you and they will charge your car with a battery for some distance to move you out from that location so that you can reach the near charging station. So all these things that we are doing. What we are also doing is we have created e-tron Hub. There are a lot of, what we understood is that there are many questions that customers do have before they buy these cars. So we have created so many videos You can go to e-tron hub and look at each topic, and then there is a video for that to explain from let's say what happens if my car goes into water, what happens, how do I charge, so that it's as simple as possible for everybody. Last but not the least, it is also I'm happy to share that through My Audi app, whatever we are providing to e-tron customers, we also want to give it to everybody. So if you own any electric car and you download My Audi app, you can go to Charge Near Me. That facility will making available to everybody. They can find out the charger nearby, and the app will also show you which charger is compatible to your car. So all these things are happening, but there is a lot to do because I firmly believe digitalization is a journey, it's not a destination. Anything that you do today is already history. So this is something which we'll continue to do. So we have looked at these four verticals, and we have worked very strongly onto this. And product is one of them. The three verticals are beyond product, so that in the first couple of months and couple of years, we want to give that comfort factor to our customers. And once it becomes a routine, then car becomes the first priority. Right now, it's beyond car, and so we're trying to address from all the sides. So that's the work that we have done for the last 2 years.
No, and I didn't want to interrupt you because I wanted to sort of get that comprehensive sense from you in terms of everything that's gone on. Because again, I have sort of personally been privy to some of that. We've had conversations, and of course with your teams. But it's good from a perspective of getting all of it at once, simply so that people understand that this is not just about the product. What you said, though, of course, that caught my attention straight away was about the fact that you would carry on bringing more products. I'm not going to pin you down on which cars, though personally I cannot wait to get into the GT, the e-tron GT, but that's me. From a market perspective, obviously you'd have your priorities, but why is it important to do that quickly, according to you? I mean, you've mentioned that this year itself there'd be other cars coming in. Why is that important?
So one, if you believe in something, you've got to believe in something and you have to work towards it. So I can't be going into electrification half-heartedly. So we are going full in. Secondly, whatever is available globally, we also want to make those cars available for the Indian buyers. Not that we'll get all the cars. You know that by 2025, we will have 20 electric cars launched by Audi globally. Some of this will come to India, not all of them. But whatever makes a business sense, whether it is top of the pyramid at the brand level or for volume, we will try and bring all of them into the country. So we want from time to time bring in cars which are going to be for the first time in India. But there is a lot of excitement at Audi level as well. There is a lot of investment which is going. You will see in the coming years the complete design language taking a different direction altogether when it comes to electrification. Right now, what you see in e-tron is you will see this to be just like any other Audi, because we wanted our customers to continue to get a touch and feel of an Audi. So currently the e-trons are just an Audi, but going forward in the next couple of years, you will also see a lot of directional change in terms of design language. So we also want to participate in all those changes that are happening at Audi AG level, so that all our customers, what they see globally, is also available in India.
All right. Now I have a sort of a two-part question when it comes to your goal of saying that 15% of your sales in India would be EV. In that sort of pursuit, why I said it's a two-part question is your larger sort of current situation in the Indian market. There has been a lot of talk in the past about how you've lost ground and share. How do you keep a balance between carrying on growing that share once again? Forget about positions and numbers with your competition, but just the sheer number of cars that you sell in a year. How do you do that? One, which means you carry on, of course, focusing on the ICE models as well. And the second then is that as that number carries on growing, would you still be able to maintain 15%?
You're right. At this point in time, our portfolio is not complete. We still have certain models which are missing, but you will see these models coming in next couple of months. So it's only a matter of time when we have the full arsenal. You will see the arsenal. We are so excited. I just can't share everything today, but I'm so excited with this e-tron launch today that I'm really overwhelmed. So you will see we coming back into the game very, very strongly. But most important for me to mention right here is we want to win, but we want to win holistically. It is not that we want to achieve number one position in terms of volume. For us, the number one is all our teams are happy, all my dealers are happy, and all my customers are happy. And that's what it is at the end of the day. If our customers are happy, our sales will continue to grow. So for us, we have to be successful, but a sustainable manner, not in a manner where we just want to achieve some numbers, and that's not the point. So that is one part of the answer. You already see last year what we decided was that we are moving from diesel plus petrol strategy to petrol plus electrification. So that bold step we have already taken. You know that luxury space is still by and large diesel driven. But what we've seen as a success in last 12 to 14 months, except for pandemic number of pandemic months, is that we have not come across a situation where we are losing sale because we don't have diesel technology with us. We are not. The acceptability of petrol, even at SUVs, very high-end SUVs, is very, very good. So that is something which was our strategy. We were quite focused on it, and we are successful there. But of course, it was 50% strategy in action because we didn't have the electric cars. So which now we bring in the electric cars. So the whole strategy gets completed there. When it comes to your second question, that if we are going towards volumes, will I still be able to, or will we still be able to maintain 15%? I think 15%, what we are looking at is bare minimum. As we move on, if the acceptability goes further, 15% is bare minimum. We may go even beyond. And that's what our focus globally is. And also we align that with within India as Audi India.
Now, I actually asked that because I was hoping you'd say it's a conservative number in any case, because that would then really sort of tell us just how serious your intent is with EV. Couple of things that come up in terms of what happens to the space and how the buyer set that you target starts to react to all of it. One big change we've seen coming from one of your big rivals was a complete sort of, in their words, reinvention of the retail strategy. Um, how are your dealers reacting to it? I don't think customers are reacting just yet because I don't think they know enough or care enough. How do they react to that? And then, secondly, once you are, let's say, 6 months to a year down the line from now, looking back at your electric experience, how do you think the space vis-a-vis your rivals and other dealers and the ecosystem, how will they react to your electric thrust, you think?
So yes, it is something new to India, but this is not retail. Direct retail business is not new globally.
Sure.
We have also done this in many markets, and there are other other automotive companies that do this business directly. So I wish them all the best, and I'm sure that they will be successful. Uh, we will keep our ears and eyes open. At this point in time, we are continuing with our existing business model, which is successful, which is fairly stable, and we want to take our partners along on this journey. You also asked what is our dealers' reaction. Uh, Honestly, it's a I would say a mixed kind of a reaction. Some dealers say that why don't you think of this? Some dealers say no, I think existing model is good enough. So it's a mixed reaction at this point in time. At the end of the day, like I mentioned, we want to run a very sustainable business, which is profitable for our partners, because happy customers are also the reason for that is also happy dealers. So at the end of the day, we are partners together, and whatever makes sense. Things are evolving right now. The changes that we have seen in last 10 years are much faster than what we have seen in last 50 years, and I'm sure next 10 years are going to be further more changes. So change is the only constant. I'm sure you believe in this. So we will also keep looking at any opportunities that are better for us as well as for our partners, but most importantly for our customers, because customer is something who sits at the top, and rest everything is below that. So if our customers would want us to do a different business model, we will think of it. But as long as we are having happy customers, we are satisfied, our dealers are satisfied, they are happy, our customer satisfaction levels are all time high, our dealer satisfaction levels are all time high, our employee satisfaction levels are all time high. So all this makes a good business where not just you're making business work well, but at the same time people are happy. So there is a positivity around. So that's what we have achieved, and I believe we are in a good way. And now we are also coming back with some products which were not there for some time. And once everything is in place, we're going to rock.
I'm very excited about what you just said. That you're all set to rock because yes, there's been criticism about missing products in the portfolio, etc. I know today we will focus on the e-tron Sportback, but since you've talked about how the next few months are going to be about the introduction of new product, whether it is the existing ICE portfolio or in fact further EVs. Would you at least have a number for me in the next, let's say, 6 months or a next 12 months horizon? How many new models can we expect?
This is a bit difficult one to answer, but I can only tell you that we will meet you at least two or twice this year, if not more.
This calendar year, you mean?
This calendar year, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. No, so that's good.
So
That means
there is a lot of excitement that we have, and then we are really looking forward to get more products because at the end of the day, we are a car company. That is the bottom line, and
OSTV,
we need to have all the products. Yeah, we cannot escape that. And yes, we didn't have some products for some time, but that was also basis a bold decision that we took that we discontinue with diesel technology, and nothing comes without pain. So there was a pain a little bit for some time, but we were mindful of it and we knew what we are going through, and we are confident that what we've done so far has come out well, and also coming times with electric future, we will also do well, and we will push this topic as much as we could.
I'll tell you why I asked that because the concern has been for some time that Audi in India has become a sort of a flagship player rather than a volumes player when it comes to either the SUV space, where at one time you used to have a whole lot of models, now you don't, or in fact the compact space, where again at one time you used to have a lot of models, today you don't. Is that part of that focus to sort of bring back this overall end-to-end approach, whether
So
it's SUVs or compacts
definitely,
or both?
so I can only tell you that we will be there in entry level, and we will be there at top end. We will have SUVs, we will have sedans, we will have ICE engines, we will have electric cars. So we are going to fill up all the space, which at this point in time we don't have the cars. But you have to also keep in mind last few years have also seen the cost of manufacturing also going up. So it has the segment at the bottom end of the pyramid is extremely competitive. Selling cars in that segment comes with a lot of difficulty or pain. So the car prices have also gone up, and of late they're also going up. You see the commodity pricing, you see shipment costs, and you see the foreign exchange, and this impacts luxury segment much more than the volume segment. So all these things do play a role. You don't expect the cars to be at the same price points which were there a couple of years back, but we will definitely bring in cars which are there from entry level. So one is the new cars at the entry level, but what we are also doing is Audi Approved Plus through our channel of pre-owned cars. We also try to bring in customers for the first time into our brand, and I'm sure that also helps us get a wider choice at the bottom, and we eventually bring them into our fold for the new cars as well.
Oh, absolutely. Customer acquisition in that space is really starting to hot up. All right. So one last
Yeah.
thing, and it was sort of, I know I've been asking you these long questions. So to be fair, I have been a little unfair to you. The part I asked you about, how do you expect the industry, whether it is the auto industry at the retail end, the OEM end, or of course the customers, to react to your electric onslaught? 6 months in, where do you see yourself, or how do you see them perceive all of this?
So I will give you answer only from a customer's perspective. What we intend to do is the next 6 months to about 1 year's time, we are going to experience what customers are going to experience. So we will be in touch with our customer. That's why we have this, let's say, one-to-one connection with customers. All my teams will be engaging with these customers to understand their ownership experience. And with every passing month, what we intend to do is we want to improve that ownership experience. So whatever challenges customers would face during ownership of these cars, if at all they face, though we've tried to cover most of this, but if they still face anything, we will try and cover those things so that ownership of an electric cars become as good as an ICE engine today. And that is our intention for the next 6 to 12 months. And the moment that is achieved, we will bring in even more cars. the confidence level with each step will further go up. And that is the reason this 15% that we are mentioning that by 25 we want to achieve. And this will happen over a period of time. So this is going to be our journey. And we are not predicting what industry will be. I'm sure if we are reaching 15%, industry will be plus and minus 2-3% here and there. But we want to actually achieve more than this. This is a mere minimum that we are putting. So that is my sense of where we want to reach. So let's see how it goes. But we are fairly confident that the direction that we have taken is the right direction, and customers will appreciate what we are doing and what research we have done and what feedback we have taken and how we have implemented it.
No, well, your commitment is admirable, and of course, you have now plugged in, as it were. So, the next few months will be very interesting. We'd love to track all of that, and of course, new product is always welcome, as you know, for me. And
Absolutely.
But very important day for you and the team, and I know it's one that you have arrived at after a lot of hard work. So, to you and your team, congratulations, firstly.
Thank you so much, Siddharth, and it's a pleasure to speak to you always.
No, likewise, and can't wait to see how all of this unfolds, and also the reaction to the e-tron family, I should say, that has now arrived in India. So,
absolutely.
Many congrats again, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Siddharth. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye, you too.